If it is or if it ain't, it's going to come out. Good morning, everybody. It's your girl, Miracle Sims, and you're listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. It is August the 22nd, 2022, and today the topic is throwing stones and judging Jesus. Happy Monday, everyone. Happy Monday. It's 22/22, or 8/22/22 to be specific. We're 1 week away from my birthday, y'all. Woo! Your girl's turning 36 this year, you know what I'm saying? Another year older. To God be the glory for that. Looking forward to another weekend of festivities. I hope that you guys had a great weekend, by the way. Mine was just fine. Again, those of you all that follow me on social media, you may have gotten a sneak peek at my weekend, but to not, go too long with my, what all happened. Long story short, basically, we went to the family reunion on my mother's side, and that was awesome to see that side of the family gathered together for, just fellowship and not for a funeral or a death or something like that. So that was nice to get together and give NJ some time with that side of the family and everything like that. It was good to see everybody. I danced with my aunt, the oldest current matriarch of the family. She's my mom's oldest sister, and everything like that, and hung out with my cousins and aunties and everything like that. So it just was a good time overall. And then yesterday, we kept on going with the summer Sunday challenge. So little man and I went on to church, and that was good as well. It was very interesting, the message that I heard yesterday, because it seemed to be a reminder about things we say, right? And what we speak and whatnot, which I guess this is, today's chat is going to be centered around that in a way as well. It was very interesting because it was reminding me of the chat. Remember that one that, I had the missiles coming out of your mouth and whatnot? It was reminding me of that, the message that I received yesterday. And then on the way home, like, there was this really powerful, emotional moment of just being in prayer for just anybody that I ever came in contact with, as well as, just speaking blessings and whatnot over all of us and different family members and different business endeavors and just everything. And so, yeah, man, it was a great weekend for me. Like I said, I hope your weekend was great as well. For those that are watching live, y'all may have noticed that this live started at 6:30, so this is well after my usual time to record, but it's not because I woke up late or anything. I just was really engulfed in this, I guess you would say, study this morning. Like, to be honest, when I listened to the prayer meditation, I was distracted. I was like, not say out of it, but I don't really remember anything that the prayer meditation was saying. I wasn't falling asleep on it or anything, but my mind just wasn't receiving it fully, I guess. I don't know. And then afterwards, I started thinking of, potential subjects and topics and whatnot. And I want to say lineage was the first thing I thought about. So I was like, okay, hey, maybe something that correlates with, the family reunion and, the ancestors and future generations and all of that. But I don't know. Somehow lineage brought me to this topic that I'm talking about today. I could tell you in short pretty much how that happened. I mean, I looked up lineage, looked up the definitions and everything like that. Started looking up Bible verses centered around it. Ultimately, in that search, somehow I came across this verse. It had to have been in Numbers, because that's what I ended up checking out. I ended up going deeper and reading the entire Numbers. But basically, and it stood out to me, but I just was like, wow, that's crazy. That's on another level, you know. But then I just kept going, kept looking up other random things, and then ultimately this just kind of came together. And then so the verses that I was reading after all of that reminded me again of that verse in Numbers, and then here we are. Here we are. So if you guys may be wondering, basically I ended up reading this account about Moses, right? And basically it was when his sister Miriam and his brother Aaron, they were speaking against him and his wife, or speaking against the woman that Moses married. And the interesting thing is, so there was one thing that I noticed. So I read the verse in on openbible.info. Do I have that one on there for y'all? If not, I need to put it on there because I talk about it all the time. But I read the verse on openbible.info, and it said the Cushite woman. But then when I read it in the Bible app, it said the Ethiopian woman. So, I mean, those always been two separate places in my mind. I don't know. I was trying to look it up this morning to make sure. I'm like, well, did Ethiopia used to be Kush or something? Like, why would they have these two different locations? And that made me think about like racism and this ongoing issue, right? That we see still being played out when it comes to different races and different skin toned people, right? So I didn't know if the Lord wanted me to talk about that, but I don't know. I guess the focus was more so on what they were saying about Moses, and I guess so much so, like it bothered God so much so where he basically came down on the cloud and addressed them about it. Basically, you guys can read the entire account for yourselves, but um, here's some verses that stood out to me this morning. So I pretty much set it all the way up where letting you guys know what happened. And so up until that point, and then Numbers 12:6-8 says, and he said, hear now my words. If there be a prophet among you, I, the Lord, will make myself known unto him in a vision, and will speak unto him in a dream. My servant Moses is not so, who is faithful in all mine house. With him I will speak unto him mouth to mouth, even apparently, and not in dark speeches, and similitude of the Lord shall he behold. Wherefore then were ye not afraid to speak against my servant Moses? Whew, okay. And then if y'all don't know what happened after that, I mean, again, y'all can read the entire account by yourselves, but let me paraphrase real quick what happened after that. So after that, Miriam got basically God put leprosy on Miriam, and both Aaron and Moses was praying and being like, Lord, take it, heal her, X, Y, and Z. And God was like, nah, she's staying like that for like 7 days. Y'all can receive her after the 7 days type of thing. So I don't know, like there's a lot of questions there. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of questions there. You know, why did he just strike Miriam? Because Aaron and Miriam was talking against, uh, Moses and his wife, but and again, there's a lot of questions. There's a lot of questions that can be asked about that thing. But again, what stood out the most to me is the fact of like what God did, and like I guess how upset it made him, right, for them to be speaking against, his servant that basically that no other person had that type of experience with, as far as I know, in regards to biblical accounts. Again, any people would talk about voices. They would talk about they would see the fiery bushes and fire and clouds and blah blah blah. But he says here, the similitude of the Lord, Moses saw, and Moses was able to talk to God. Apparently, according to this, mouth to mouth. So that's it. That is on another level, right? That's on at least at that time, right? That's on another level where it's like, yeah, I would wonder too. Like, well, if somebody got that type of relationship with the Lord, I'd be a little bit hesitant to speak on him, right? But then let's go to Jesus, right? Let's go to Jesus because I mean, obviously, people had issues with things that Jesus said, and so much so that they wanted to stone him. And I don't know if y'all didn't know that, but here we go. Y'all can check out the entire account of John 10. That's in your go deeper section if you guys want to read all of this on your own. But here's the verses that stood out to me. So, John 10 and 31, it says, Then Jesus took up stones again. Excuse me. Then Jews took up stones to stone him. Again to stone him. Jesus answered them, Many good works have I showed you from my Father. For which of these works do ye stone me? John 10:36 through 38 says, Say ye of him whom the Father hath sanctified and sent into the world, Thou blasphemest, because I said I am the Son of God. If I do not the works of my Father, believe me not. But if I do, though ye believeth not me, believeth the works, that ye may know and believe that the Father is in me and I in him. So, just to paraphrase a little bit what's going on there. So basically what had happened is the people was like, or Pharisees, or however you want to say, the Jews, that's what they refer to in this one. So say the Jews was coming up to Jesus, was like, let us know who you are, blah, 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 blah. Like, say it plainly, basically. And Jesus was like, I already told you. You know what I mean? X, Y, and Z. And pretty much just reiterated that he's the Son of God, or, God in the flesh, X, Y, and Z, And then they started to get the stones because they was going to get ready to stone him because he's like, oh, he said he God, blah, 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 blah. And so he's basically, Jesus basically said, what I just read to you, like, well, what you gonna stone me for, all this good stuff I've been doing or what? And then, my paraphrase is funny to me. But anyway, so then he's like, what you gonna stone me for? Then they was like, well, because you blaspheming X, Y, and Z. Not because of the good works you've been doing, but because you blaspheming. And then, basically he's like, hey, if I'm not, basically, if you don't see the fruit from my words, then go ahead. You know what I'm saying? But if you see the fruit, then, and even if you still don't believe me, at least believe the fruit. You know what I'm saying? And this is, there's a lot of things that this reminds me of. Like, on one hand, like these two accounts, right? Something that was pre-Jesus, like back in Moses' day, and then Jesus himself dealt with it. And then, I'm pretty sure that there are, actual men of God that are dealing with these type of things right now, right? And that's the thing, like, I'm kind of asking the same question, like, why is there's something in us that's not, like, leery of talking negative or doing negative to these people. Like, you can hear and see in the Word of God plenty of accounts where people, obviously they stoned the disciples. They did all kinds of evils in regards to the way they killed disciples. Outside of John, I think all the rest of them had like horrific deaths. And the martyrs since then, people that, so it's just very interesting. Like people just feel really justified in doing or saying whatever against God, right? Now, and again, God allows us to have free will, you know what I'm saying? So I guess technically you can use your free will to do that. But I just would be careful in regards to, I guess, knocking the spirit of God and everything like that. Because you're going to see in the Go Deeper section that there's verses that address that specifically. And like, hey, you say things against the Son of God, you can be forgiven. But you say things against the Spirit, there's no forgiveness for that, according to what I'm reading here. And so, I don't know. It's just real touchy, It's just real touchy coming against the Lord, you know what I'm saying? Coming against the Bible, coming against the man of God, or or any of that, It's just real interesting, y'all. Just real interesting. Now let me share with you guys. I think I got just one more verse to share. It's Luke 12:10. It says, "And everyone who speaks a word against the Son of Man will be forgiven. But the one who blasphemes against the Holy Spirit will not be forgiven." So yeah, that's what I was just telling y'all. But again, it goes deeper than that. There's more verses in the go deeper section to peruse and let marinate on your heart, souls, and minds about that. But yeah, man. I guess at the end of the day, like the pastor reminded us all yesterday, let's be careful what we speaking, especially against, those that are in the position that God has put them in. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you see fruit, like it'll be something different again. Like if you see people out here doing stuff in the name of God, but then they ain't got no fruit, right? They out here, you know, you don't see the fruit. But like if you see fruit, for example, or if you see like the works of God being done and God's hands on these people's life and God moving through these people, then you might want to just be kind of careful about who you addressing and who you like saying things against. Um, and saying things against the spirit in particular, and I guess that's the juice this morning. That is the juice. The Bible verse of today is Philippians 1:9-10. It says, "And this I pray, that your love may abound yet more and more in knowledge and in all judgment, that ye may approve things that are excellent, that ye may be sincere and without offense till the day of Christ." Friends, I hope y'all enjoyed this juice this morning. Thank you so much for listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. I pray you guys can go forth and have a wonderful day, and I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow, if the Lord's will. Bye-bye. Check out our friends at mailandmeet.com for beautifully handcrafted Afrocentric greeting cards and so much more. That's mailandmeet.com.